Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be kind of like a writing update, what I'm doing, what I'm working on, and kind of where I plan to go, sorry. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading twice a week like I wanted to, but I am trying to at least upload one video, and this will go up today, Wednesday, and I will be doing one Friday, Saturday on something else. So, as some of you know, what I tried out, I tested it, built it, those two book nooks, and I do have something exciting coming up that I will announce it at the end of the video. So, the thing that I'm working on right now is the story of Ivar isn't completely done. It's not finished. It's finished in my head, but it's not finished on paper. I introduced you guys to him in my book, Ivar Blood and Steel. This isn't it, but I like showing it off. So, I introduced him in this book, Ivar Blood and Steel. This one I made. I turned it from, the KDP book into this because guess what? Being a self-published author, you can do that because you retain the rights of your manuscript. Anyway, so I just basically touch the surface of what and who he is. So, in my debut novel, tongue twister, in my debut novel, Legends of Aelin, I do introduce him, and then I wrote this book to expand upon that introduction. So, right now, I'm at a point where I need to continue on with him and show where his life goes, being that he is a anti-villain, which I just learned that's what he is. I don't know, I was kind of thrown back by that he was a anti-villain. I mean, it is fitting because of what he does in the story. So, but anyway, I need to explain now his life before I actually explain his actual demise. So, I've written a companion, or I am writing a companion / book number 2, because it picks up in between some of the stuff that's in Ivar Blood and Steel. So it's kind of an expansion, a little adventures of Ivar kind of thing. So in that one, I show him going to a city called Arkansdale, and in Arkansdale he is to assassinate a certain target. So when he gets there, I'm going to give you guys, try not to spoil too much about it, but when he gets there, he's confronted by the lady of the city, which is the nobleman's wife. She kind of wants to pay him to not kill this guy, and it just so happens that this guy is her lover. Anyway, so in the process, he's finding out there's a lot of racist issues that's going on. It's a human city, and the humans in this city utterly hate elves. And anyone who's an elf, they are ostracized, flogged, If they are captured, they're either killed mysteriously. So he goes to a tavern called the Floating Pig, not the Flying Pig, the Floating Pig. It's owned by the same people. Anyway, so he goes there, and the guy who's actually running it has a side business as a brothel, service girls, and he gets them from a merchant that comes from overseas. But these women that he does get, they're captured elves, and so he doesn't want to lose business. So what he does is he clips their ears to make them look like they're round instead of pointy. And then he makes them put like a makeup on it to hide the scar from the cutting. And Ivar notices it, and they call it clipping, and it kind of really irritates him. He doesn't like any violence towards women at all. He doesn't condone it. He does not. Even though he is kind of a murderer himself, it's one of his things that he does not like. If you're mean to a woman, he will have the desire to cut your throat. It's just how he is. So he gets to the bottom of it, and he finds out who does it and who's in charge of doing it. And it comes out that it's the tavern innkeeper that does it. And so he kind of, he buys off their, because he's quite wealthy. He has no issue with money. So he pays the innkeeper their value and sets them free, and then also takes some money and gives it to them so they can leave the city and live a normal life. So there's also a bunch of Red Guard in this tavern. That's one of their main spots. So majority of the time, every time you go in there, you'll find a large group of Red Guard, Red Horde that's in there. So there's an issue there where he confronts them, and he confronts the innkeeper in public and kind of like shames him a little bit. And then one of the girls that he sets free gets killed in the alley, and he follows the blood trail into the sewers. So I don't want to go too much further into that because there's a whole story there. Ivar does find a woman he does find interesting. So there is a love interest in it, but it's more of a... yeah, no spoiling, sorry. So that's what I'm working on right now. That's what I'm doing. So I'm writing this companion, and then later on, after I get this one finished and uploaded, maybe by December I'll have it done. I will be looking for beta readers. If anybody out there is interested in reading some of this, I can get in contact with me, and I'll see what we can do. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now, and I do plan on making more like trinkets and stuff like that for this line of books. So I am planning to actually sculpt a figure of Ivar and make a production of him. So if you guys are interested in having a little trinket, a little 28mm version of Ivar, I can do that for you. I still have to do a couple things. So that's what I'm planning to do. And as for my debut novel, I do have a part 2 that I am working on. But I did do a live on Instagram, I think 2 weeks ago, where I was actually doing some editing on that book. The premise of that one is you guys would have to read Legends of Aelin to actually understand book 2. It deals more with the elven kingdoms than it does with the human, like Ivar does. So that's down the line. So mainly right now I'm focusing on just the life of Ivar and where I want to take him. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is a guy who requires companionship. If you guys are wondering if does he ever fall in love, or does he ever have anybody he loves, or whatnot. It's just that he does. Just every time he does get close to somebody, it's kind of cliche, but it's his line of work that gets him killed. So he has to leave his line of work behind in order to actually have a normal life with somebody. But even though he leaves it behind, it does catch up to him, and it does hurt him. And the reason it catches up to him is because he's so good at what he does that the people who trained him don't want to lose the time and effort they put into him. So to them, he's just a product that they don't want to lose. So there's also a part where I deal with his demise. I mean it's like, book 2 or book 3 or 4 down the line. But I already have it planned out and everything. I gave a little snippet on Instagram on what happens. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see a little snippet of what happens. But he goes after the people who helped create him. He goes after the people who are tormenting most of the world. And he pretty much topples it. And he destroys the leadership from the top down. But in the process, things happen. I'm not going to say much more than that. So, that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm working on, writing-wise. I am trying to put more twists and turns into it to keep you guys interested while you're reading it. So, but as far as my debut novel, I published it 10 years ago. Here's the bit you guys need to stay to the end. So here's the bit right here, the exciting part. So, I published my book 10 years ago, and the actual 10-year mark is come up here in August. And being that this fantasy world has been a part of my life for 20 years, I want to do a little thing for you guys, my readers, my fans, my followers. So, I'm still working out the kinks, but I want to do a giveaway for, top 3 people, and they will get something special. I'm debating whether to give them a book like this, or this. So, I'm still working out what you guys have to do to get these items. And I'm kind of thinking along the lines as you have to follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and then also you have to be subscribed to me on YouTube. So, like I said, I'm still working on it. Look for a video about it. I will do one giving a whole rundown on what you need to do to be a part of this giveaway, and I'm going to run it up until, most likely till August 18th. Or I might just do it the week of August 18th. So I will do an update on that soon. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for what's going to happen to Ivar. And yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Share the video if you like. Talk to me, ask me any kind of questions you want. I will answer them as fast as I possibly could. And as always, stay being creative.